This is a new environment where volatility is pretty much here for good, but that hasn't changed fundamentals. And you're a big believer in that the bull market has not ended.
Right, but we have to see it in the context that we've had an extraordinary run through the course of 2017. Expecting further upward momentum might be expecting a bit too much. When you look at the Atlanta Fed's GDP now, for example, for the US, in February and March, things have actually gone south. But that is nothing compared to what's happening in Europe, where the economic surprise index has gone sharply negative in the last couple of months. So yes, underlying economic fundamentals are strong, and we're seeing residual impact of that in Asia. China still has an upward momentum. India has turned around after a few quarters of poor performance. But in the West, it is sort of flat or declining. So overall, we're okay, but we need to keep an eye on the margin.
So in terms of catalysts, what are you looking out for this rally to then pick up?
Well, I think one thing that we worried a lot about in the fourth quarter of last year and early this year was possibility of inflation rearing its ugly head. But look, oil has gone to 65, 70. Where is the inflation? So even though headline inflation sometimes gets affected by oil, core, whether it's in the US or in Europe or in Japan or elsewhere in Asia, everywhere is very well behaved. So I would think that this lack of materialization of the inflation surprise, which everybody was sort of fearing, itself would be a good support for markets going forward.
So risk on or risk off? Because, I mean, there are lots of issues right now. Even when you take a look at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is down, and it's currently trading at 6,700 from 20,000 at its peak.
Well, clearly the markets are lacking conviction. You see that in the flows data. When you look at EPFR's data, you can see that after a very strong January, investors are almost sort of bamboozled by so much news coming in. They have a lot of lost conviction on equities, on rates, on credit, and they're all sitting on the sideline to get a little more clarity. Hopefully, this fact that inflation is not going to be a spoiler, the fact that we're not about to see some sort of a wage price spiral could be the support that the market needs and some conviction to reappear. And particularly, we think that there's still a lot more room for emerging markets left in terms of surprising the market and providing good earnings estimates. So that's where we are sort of more bullish.